Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look at the Adidas D.O.N issue 2. So this is Donovan Mitchell's second signature shoe with Adidas, and according to the catalog leaks, this shoe is supposed to retail for $100, so that pretty much makes it a budget shoe, and the retail intro is supposed to be August 1st, so it should be coming out soon. And let's get it started off with the traction. So for the traction pattern, it looks like spider webs. So obviously, Donovan Mitchell really likes comics, he likes Spider-Man. So that's pretty much the inspiration behind this outsole design. And here on the lateral side, it kind of looks like a comic like bubble. And then this rubber outsole is fully translucent. And then you can see it says here, boom, pow, and I have no screech. So as far as on my wood floors goes, this shoe didn't seem to have the greatest bite. It was okay, it seemed like, you know. Obviously I'm gonna need to play in it and break it in and everything. As far as the hardness of the rubber goes, it seems super hard. I feel like it's gonna be very durable, but you know, we'll have to see on that. I'm gonna be playing outdoors with them. And here in the midfoot, it is slightly decoupled, just a little bit. I wouldn't say it's fully decoupled. You know, usually decoupling, they actually get rid of some of the midsole as well. But it just looks like they got rid of some of the outsole here, you know? And as far as details go, here in the toe area, I believe this is the BYW logo. On the medial side, on the rubber, it says determination over negativity, which basically is D.O.N or D.O.N issue, you know what I'm saying? So those are some cool little details there. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it's pretty smooth. You know, you have a nice curve shape here in the heel. You have this decoupling, which I kind of feel, you know? It just feels like the heel is so much higher than the forefoot. And of course, that's just a regular offset, but this decoupling makes it easier to feel for me for some reason. You know, it just feels like this part's just elevated here, and then in the toe box area, and like in the midfoot, it's just like this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like having a smooth slope, it's just like separated like this. And then here in the forefoot, you have actually a nice curved shape, which is nice. Adidas doesn't do this a lot. They just keep it super flat for some reason. So that feels nice. It keeps you on your toes. It kind of reminds me of the LeBron 16, where like this part where the ball of your foot is, it kind of protrudes out a little bit more than like this curve up. So it gives you a little bit more of a rocking motion. It keeps you on your toes. It feels super nice. I love it. It's overall pretty smooth. I just don't really like the decoupling all too much. Alright, as far as the cushioning goes, of course, it's full length bounce. It feels nice. The court feel doesn't seem too good. You know, I feel pretty high up off the ground, especially in the heel. The forefoot, you feel pretty low, but the heel is where you feel kind of like high and elevated. There is a good amount of compression. It feels nice here in the heel, and it's really not caged, which I like. And here in the forefoot and the midfoot area, it thins out a little bit, but I can still feel a little bit of compression. And here on the medial side, it says bounce. And on the medial side in the heel, you can see the Adidas logo. There's really no Adidas logo anywhere else on this shoe. So I like the placement of this logo. You know, it's kind of low key, you know? And then it says D.O.N here in the heel, you know, determination over negativity. And that's pretty much it for the cushion. You know, it feels nice. As we all know, bounce cushioning is pretty bouncy. It's soft, impact protection is nice. It's just a little high up here in the heel. And then for the insole, in this colorway, it says Adidas and Marvel. It's like a little collaboration. And the insole is very, very thin, not very nice quality. And then the stroll board is like their stiff stock stroll board. And it's kind of hard to feel the bounce cushioning like right underneath your foot. But of course, I'll need to break it in, so we'll have to see on that. And then moving on to the upper, here in the toe box, they're using basically a foam back mesh or a textile mesh. It feels okay, you know, it's a little stiff and it's pretty thick. I mean, one good thing about it though is that it feels very, very supportive. It doesn't stretch at all and it feels snug and cozy. You know, so if you're into that, then that's good. But like for me, I don't really like thick materials, and that's literally what you get in this shoe. Here on the medial side in the toe, you have a little bit of synthetic fuse with like stitching over it for extra added durability. On the medial side, you have a synthetic leather, and on the lateral side, you have more of a mesh, and it's just like a zigzag line. And then the tongue feels really, really good. It's very well padded. There's so much padding in the shoe. The tongue is a half booty construction, so it connects to a material that goes underneath the toe, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then under the tongue, you have Spider-Man with the Spidey sense, which is dope. And then in front of the tongue, you have the Adidas logo. And then for the lace holders, here in the middle of the tongue, it says Spidey sense. If you put the two shoes together, which I think is pretty cool. One thing that does worry me though is that there are only 4 eyelets, and it doesn't really seem to lock down here in my forefoot as well as I want it to, you know? And also another thing that I'm worried about are these 3 eyelets. So they're using like a flywire type of cable, and it's really thin. And it reminds me of the D.O.N 8, I believe it was, where like not only me but a lot of you guys had issues with that cable snapping. I don't know, I feel like they should have made the cables a little bit thicker, or just make it go through the upper, like just like a regular shoe, you know? And then for the last eyelet, it kind of goes through this lace loop. And then here in the ankle area, there is so much padding. It feels really comfortable, very cozy, which I like, you know, but it just makes the overall shoe feel really bulky, you know. And then here in the heel, it's not really a heel counter. You can see Donovan Mitchell's logo here. It's kind of like a spider, and it kind of like overlays this heel part. And here you have kind of like a heel tab. It kind of extends up. There's just so much padding, but then, you know, this helps you put your shoe on, you know, kind of acts like a shoehorn. I wish it would come up a little bit more, but it's not bad. So overall materials for $100, it's not bad. The quality is pretty nice. It's just really thick and pretty damn bulky for me, you know. All right, moving on to the fit. I went true to size, and it fits me kind of weird. It runs just a tad bit long, and then here in the toe box, there is a little bit of room. There is a little bit of dead space, which I don't like. I like to have my shoes really snug here in the toe box area, but then it gets really weird. So it's super tight for me, like right here. You know, not like in the midfoot and not in the toe, but just like right here, right? So I keep the laces super loose, but then this shoe fits me so snug right here that I get needles and my foot falls asleep. So hopefully this part stretches out a little bit, but I doubt that it will, because this material seems so rigid and so supportive that I don't know, like even though it is more of like a mesh material, I don't think it's gonna stretch out all too much. We'll have to see, of course. And as far as the width goes, I would say it's a tad bit wide, you know? So for me personally, it doesn't fit me very well. So if you have a wide foot, it'll probably fit you a little bit better. Probably go either true to size or up half a size, you know? If you have a super narrow foot, it's probably not gonna be the best fitting shoe for you. And then for lateral support or lateral containment, I feel like it's gonna be very good. You know, you can see the bounce midsole coming up, acting as sidewall here on the lateral side. It like comes up here in the toe box, in the midfoot, and I guess here in the heel as well. And also there is an internal TPU heel counter. And also the material is super supportive, and you have a lot of overlays, you know, like with mesh and stuff. So I don't think there's going to be any issues for lateral containment. And then the bounce midsole protrudes out here on the lateral side a little bit, so you get more lateral stability. Of course, this is a low, so you're not really going to get any ankle support. Moving on to the weight, I don't know, I feel like this shoe is going to be kind of heavy, maybe like 13-14 ounces. Yeah, so 13.9 ounces, basically 14 ounces. That's pretty damn heavy, and not only is it heavy, it's pretty damn bulky. Yeah, it's just too much padding for me. Like, just personally, I don't like it. It's very comfortable and very cozy though, but it's just that I would prefer a shoe that's, you know, a little bit more minimal. You know, that's just my preference. But you know, of course, if you don't mind that, you don't mind the extra like 1.5 to 2 ounces, and you like to have a shoe that feels very supportive, very rigid, and there's a lot of padding, you know, I'm sure you'll enjoy this shoe. And as far as the ventilation goes, I mean, I don't know yet, but I feel like this shoe is gonna be super hot. You know, the materials, like I said, are thick. There's not a lot of ventilation. Like, there's really no airflow through this upper. I mean, it is a textile mesh, but like I said, it's thick, so you don't really feel any airflow. The tongue is super well padded as well, even though it's a mesh material. So I feel like this shoe is gonna be very hot. Moving on to the aesthetics, it definitely grew on me. Like, looking at the shoe in hand and looking at it on foot, it definitely looks a little bit better than, you know, when I first saw it. I really like this colorway as well. It's like a Volt. This color doesn't really come out on camera very well, but you know, in person it looks really cool. And I like the cool little details on the shoe as well, you know, especially since I am a fan of Spider-Man too, you know. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So right now I'm not liking it too much as far as my first impressions go. The only thing I kind of like is, I guess, the cushioning. The cushioning's nice, but it is pretty high up off the ground. The materials are okay. I like how cozy and comfortable it feels, but like I said, it's just a little too thick. So as far as my first impressions go, it's okay. Like I said, if you don't mind those things, like the thicker upper and also the weight, then you should definitely try the shoe out when it comes out. Of course, performance review will be coming soon, or I guess like an outdoor performance review. I'm sorry I haven't been able to like find an indoor court, so sorry about that, you guys. Thank you guys for hanging with me, you know, during these hard times. It's been kind of hard, you know. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.